first year of college. Then I went off and coached at Greenwich with Coach Albanizio. But, this is where my heart is. If there's any job I ever wanted, it would be here. It's a special place. The people, alumni that are involved in it are it's a great place to be. The support of the athletic director, Mr. Nichols and Mr. O'Leary is great. So that's about it. I'm happy to be here.
You talked about tradition when you were talking to the kids. Can you just talk a little bit about the Crusader tradition?
Well, we have a strong tradition that goes back many years. And my goal is to get it back to where it was years ago. Bring back some alumni, get them involved. We had a great year last year, but we need to build off that. And we don't want to be a one-hit wonder, okay? And it's going to take some time, but the idea is to get back to Catholic football, which is a proud tradition.
You've always had a link to the school, even when you weren't here, when you went to Greenwich and were with Coach Albanizio. So, I mean, you're well ingrained with the Trinity tradition for going back, 2 decades to your playing days.
It's a special place, like I said before. Most of the kids that come here because they want to come here. We don't have a district, okay? So the kids that come here, most of them want to be here. So that's a good start, okay? Because they want to walk through that door. They want to be part of a tradition. So we need to build off that, and we need to get that word out, okay? We're not just the Stanford kids, but the Norwalk kids, the Greenwich kids, the Portchester kids, the New Canaan kids, the Darien kids. This is a place that kids come because they want to be here, and we got to use that to our advantage.
Was becoming a head coach one of your priorities when you decided to get into this business?
Not really. But as time goes on, and you strive to do more, and an opportunity came up, I had to throw my hat in the ring, and luckily I was fortunate to get the job.
The cupboard's not bare. You got Bologna coming back. You have a few other players, especially the skill positions, coming into your first head coaching job. What are your opinion of the team coming back?
Well, we do have we did play some underclassmen. We lose a strong senior class. But for next year, like you said, we do have some skill. We have some linemen, okay? One benefit is there's a few sophomores that played a lot of snaps for us. There's a lot of juniors that played a lot of snaps for us. So as far as moving forward, next year, we'll see what it brings, but my goals are more long-term here than just next year. So I like the team we have coming back. Our numbers, they need to improve, but I like what we have.
That was going to be my next question. What do you do going forward so you build off of what you did last year, and 3 years from now it doesn't look like you were a one-year wonder?
I think we got to increase our numbers is the first way. The group that we have, we lose 15 seniors. I believe we only have 9 juniors in the program. We have about 15 sophomores. Hopefully the freshmen coming up, we could keep about 15. We'd like to have 15, 45 in the program. That would be an ideal number. We're never going to have the 70 and 80 that the other schools have. But for us, if we could get around that 45 number and keep it rolling that way, I think that's the way you build it. And you don't want to have the drop-off and go from 20 in one class and 10 in the next. You want to try and space it out to about 15 each class.
What's going to be different between you and Coach Stokes? He seems like he's very similar to your approach.
Well, me and Coach Stokes, who's obviously a very good friend of mine, and gave me the opportunity to come back and coach here. We're very similar. A lot of things will stay the same. Some things will change. I mean, I'm big on discipline and accountability. That's what I'm big on. I think that builds mental toughness, and I think mental toughness is how you win football games. So those are two of I'm a stickler for that type of stuff. So
one thing you're going to have to address is Joe Claps leaving your offensive coordinator. Any idea on who would fill that role, or it'll take a while?
I'm gonna sit down with the coaches that are existing here, one-on-one, interview them, go through the process, and see where that shakes out. We're down 2 coaches, Coach Stoke and Coach Claps from last year, so we will be hiring some new guys. Where that's going to come from, what side of the ball. I was the defensive coordinator. I'm also the offensive line coach. My background is an offensive line coach. I will continue to be the offensive line coach because I think that's the most important thing on the team. and that's my responsibility. Now, whether I bring in a new offensive coordinator or it's somebody on the staff or a new defensive coordinator, I mean, Coach Rabasa, Frank Rabasa, who's helped me out, he's my co-defensive coordinator. He's great. He's going to be staying with me. So we got to see where that shakes out. We have some time. My biggest concern right now is the weight room. So